What is this color theory that everyone is talking about? Can power dressing actually change somebody's perception of you? Today, we are going to find out all about this and more. Hi, and welcome to the Fashion Scoop. Today, we have Rupanshi. Hi, Rupanshi.
Priyanka.
And Divya in the house. They are the co founders of a brand called Qua. I will tell you more about the brand, but before that, let us ask them how they are feeling today. How are you guys feeling today?
Excited, a little nervous. And
Feeling great, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
And tell
I'm
us
ready
what
to
you
do
are
this.
wearing. I think this is from your new collection.
This
So
is
tell us
from
about
our
that.
latest spring-summer collection called Alpha. It's a denim dress with beautiful paneling, and you can
I love it. Why,
Thank
why
you.
the name Alpha?
Because we wanted to reframe the narrative around what an alpha person, especially a woman, represents. Like when you think of the word alpha, you think of, a very testosterone fueled, like a chest thumping.
I think you
very,
think of
like,
Ranbir Kapoor.
In animal.
In
An animal,
Yes,
right? That's the image
Exactly.
you have.
Like chest thumping,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
man really only thinking
Just
about
bloodthirsty,
himself.
wants to
and-
like
yeah.
just achieve.
And a lot of
but-
machine guns.
And so with this collection and campaign, we really wanted to reclaim the word and the narrative around alpha and what it really means to be an alpha female in 2024. An alpha female, an alpha woman in 2024 is really...
Along with her power, her authority, she's also compassionate. She is not only building a place for herself, but she's also pulling up chairs for other women at the table.
So, I just spoke about power dressing in the small intro that I gave. Can you guys tell us what exactly power dressing is all about so that everybody can actually know the definition of it?
So the definition keeps evolving. The power dressing word actually came up in 1970s, 1960s when women were actually getting into the corporate world, and to be taken seriously, they were dressing in a certain androgynous way to be not just considered as the weaker sex, but to be thought of as a person with authority, with expertise,
As
with
an equal.
intelligence, as an equal. But today, I feel power dressing has evolved to the point where it is more about expressing yourself, feeling confident in your skin, and having a presence where you're not only seen but heard.
Lovely. So that was a lovely description. By now, you know what the brand stands for. Hurrah. Yes. Okay, so Qua aims at revolutionizing workwear. So let us talk more about everything that they, entail as a brand, and let's get started. Okay, so, tell me that what have you guys been working on, like in the personal front as well as the professional front?
So, personal...
Nothing really.
Nothing really.
I mean, this whole
Honestly-
work-life balance is a myth. Like
Okay.
if you are there, it's like an opinion that people might not accept, might not welcome. But if you're there to build a company from scratch up, you really have to put your all into it. And work-life balance really hopefully comes later in our lives, but right now it's all about work.
I think I'm very, very excited about spending more time at work, channeling my creativity. On a personal level, I have recently started taking some time out for myself, just, reading a book or just laying on the grass, just some like little moments for yourself that really like re-energize you so that you're
A
ready
reset
for
button.
a reset
Yeah.
button, really. So I have started taking that slow approach to life a little bit on a personal front. With work, things are
With
hectic.
work, yeah, it's busy. It's like
We're working on our next
one-
collection.
collection after collection. We are doing great campaigns, and with every new collection and campaign, we want to do something, bring something completely new and creative to the table.
Yeah, it's a constant process.
So, like Divya said, it's like little moments you take throughout the day for yourself, but other than that, it's like hustle.
So see, like building your brand is hard, but I'm pretty sure it's worth it.
It's absolutely worth it, especially when there's a client or a woman who comes up to you and tells you how big an impact your product has had on their lives. That is the moment that makes all those endless hours absolutely worth it. When they tell you that they felt ready for the day, they gave an interview and they got like hired on the spot because the outfit put them in such a confident state of mind that they could, present themselves in the best possible way. So I think those are some of the most rewarding things that make it worth what you're doing.
I still remember we were out for a dinner in one of the restaurants in Gurgaon. And as we were exiting that place, we saw a woman enter through the door.
And she was wearing your brand.
wearing our pear green sculpted waistcoat set. And that was the first time we saw someone in real life, a woman wearing Qua. And it was such a pleasant surprise. We were like, so ecstatic. We were like jumping with excitement that day. And
It was a crazy experience.
it felt like so satisfying to see that.
And that was the first, but not the last.
yeah.
We've seen several
Yeah.
women now in across events, whatever events are happening in Delhi NCR, and we happen to be
I
there.
mean, students graduating wearing Qua for their graduation ceremonies, women receiving,
sweet.
women receiving awards. Some of the more celebratory events in their lives for which they are wearing Qua because that's what the
Sanya
brand
Mirza
makes them
wore
feel.
Qua at her Wimbledon. It was her debut hosting at Wimbledon, and she
Yeah.
wore a Qua blazer, and that was awesome to say the least.
You must have
because-
been ecstatic.
ecstatic
Yeah.
because we look up to her. She is the original empowerer of women, She had that drive in her and she always made sure to give to women. And yeah,
Okay, so tell me, are you guys sisters?
yes.
Okay, I always wanted to ask this question. So then how did this brand like come to being? Everything started in the family, I assume.
Yeah, it's a family affair. So we're three founders, siblings, and it's the two of us and our brother Bharat. So we run the brand together, and it's very incidental how the brand started because I personally never thought I'd work in fashion, but I am a computer science graduate and I was doing a corporate job.
I remember you dressing up in those like very manly shirts and like pants.
striped shirts and like
Yeah,
simple pants.
yeah.
So
and all
this
of
was
that.
the reason you started like this whole concept of work.
Right. I was in my own professional journey. I was pursuing MBBS, and you're supposed to make hospital rounds, look
Oh,
at
wow.
patients, and you are supposed to
So have
require
you
to-
completed the
Yes,
MBBS?
yes.
So you're a doctor.
Yeah.
We have a doctor in the house.
Thank you.
If one of us faints due to the heat, now we know we can count
Where to
on
go?
her. Yeah.
Let me grab my stethoscope.
Yeah.
But so we were required to dress professionally, but the brands at that point were, the European fast fashion chains or like really androgynous brands that were catering to men and had a very small women's section in the corner of their shop.
Yeah, I
So-
remember.
Yeah.
I remember shopping from Alan Solly, I think,
Yeah.
ages ago, So,
Yeah.
I mean, I did not require workwear at that time. I was like, I had something in school I had, and they told me to like wear a shirt, and I was all excited, ki shirt pehna hai, okay. So I told my mother, ki mama, we have to buy a shirt, let's go somewhere, okay. And so I don't know, she took me to like a basic store, Alan Solly, and at that time you were like workwear means ऐसा ही कोई brand
हाँ,
होगा, okay.
बिल्कुल.
Yeah, and
Van Heusen, Alan Solly,
something like that, yeah. And I went there, and you are right. There was this small section,
Yeah, just like a little
with-
wall that is given
with
to
like
women.
a copy of those men's colors and
Right.
stripes
Just in a
to
different,
in a different cut,
measurement.
in a
Yeah.
measurement
Yeah.
and cut or whatever. And I was kind of a little disappointed, but I was like, कुछ अच्छा नहीं है क्या? मतलब मजा
Where's
नहीं
the
आ रहा है
style?
इसमें.
Where's the personality?
Yeah, where's the spark to my outfit?
Where's the
Yeah.
aspiration, the desire? Like, it was
Absolutely.
all missing, especially in the workwear segment. It was like, we saw a glaring gap there. Like, more and more women were entering the workforce, but there were no brands to, like, sort of
Support them
champion
in
these
that
women.
way.
Champion these women, sort of create a brand that they can aspire to, that shows them that, they can be whoever they want to be.
Yeah.
Like a brand that talked to this modern Indian woman who was like super confident and building a career, aiming for an independent life, financial freedom. And she is a high performing woman, right? She is well traveled, well exposed to global trends through partly thanks to these Netflixes and all the movies and everything. And so that style element was completely missing from whatever the current offerings were in the market. And that was our first aha moment where we realized, okay, we being modern women, the kind of workwear we wanted, the kind of dressing we wanted to dress in our offices and important events in our life was just not there. And like Divya said, you end up buying from one of the fast fashion chains, which again was more driven by trends, and really the functionality, the quality, all of those aspects were really missing from those offerings. So that's how the idea sprout in our minds. And as you know, we don't have a fashion background, so
But deeply religiously, we follow fashion.
It's okay, even I don't have a fashion background.
Yeah.
I'm still doing this.
Yeah,
because love
I
it.
have watched fashion TV ever since I was a kid. Like, I think that fashion cell has just somewhere, it just got
it was
stuck
somewhere
in my.
there.
Yeah, it was there. And
what I have also realized in my journey is it doesn't matter what you have studied, what you have
Yeah, it
experienced.
doesn't.
you learn on the job most of the time.
And that's the
That's
best school that life can offer you is practical experience. We started from scratch with zero connect, zero experience, zero industry experience, and now we are here dressing the most important women in the country. So
Bravo!
Thank you.
Clap for you guys.
thank you.
Okay, so you guys have a story. The brand has a story. It's so how important it is for like a brand to narrate a story and like really have this identity of their own.
I think it's super important. Um, there are hundreds of brands coming in every day.
Yeah, every day, like
Yes.
so many brands
It has
coming
become
up.
so much easier to launch a brand, even though there are lots of challenges. But how do you, as a brand, stick in the consumer's minds? Without a story, that stickiness won't be there. What are they getting excited by? That's your campaigns that need to excite them, that need to show them something new, that they feel something. Basically, if you're able to make them feel something, they're going to buy your product. And that feeling comes from the storytelling.
And in today's time, since there are so many options, there is no lack of options like from 1,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees to 50,000 rupees. There's a huge bracket and multiple offerings. So consumers want more than just a good, decent product. They want a story. Like, why
I think
should
they
I
want
buy
something
from?
they can feel about, something they can relate to.
Connect with. Like,
Yeah.
why do I buy from Qua and not from brand X, right? So that storytelling really spins everything together. Like, who are we as a brand? Like, what do we stand for? What is important to us? What are our values? Are, some of our truth pillars that we will never sway away from. So all of this is really important for a great brand that can survive through years
Got it.
and not just fade away after, because in fast fashion age
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
out of sight, out of
of
mind,
mind.
right? And it's so easy to be overpowered by a new brand coming in with something new,
new concept.
a new concept, right?
Got it. So while you were building the brand, was there any other brand that really inspired you? It doesn't have to be from the fashion space. Like so many brands have such great stories, that they have built over the years. So is there anything like that?
Just as an objective fashion lover, I think I'm most excited by Prada just because of the sheer innovation and creativity that Miuccia Prada brought to the brand, her vision. She created the librarian look and everything. And it's the only brand that has not been bought by a major corporation. And she and Raf Simons are doing a great job over there. There's always a new concept. There's always trends that are, taken from the Prada runway and then they like appear in all these different designer shows or in the fast fashion market. So that is one brand I'm greatly inspired by because of the sheer innovation and staying ahead of the curve that they do. And that is something that that essence of innovating and creating and always pushing the envelope is something that I aspire, or I at least try to incorporate in Qua. Even though our
Lovely.
aesthetics are very different, but I was very inspired by that.
Lovely. So, coming to a light question, okay, you guys are sisters and then you have another co founder as well. So, which amongst the three of you panics the most? And which is like the calm one ki tells ki, Arey, sab theek ho jayega, relax.
I think Bharat is the calmest.
Yeah.
But I think we all take turns in panicking.
And I think that's the best part of having your siblings as your co-founders, because the trust factor is there, inbuilt. It comes natural. You don't really have to work for it. And
If I'm
everybody
panicking,
has-
she's there to
Yeah,
like hold my
we
hand
have
and
our
like
own
tell me
days.
that things are gonna be okay. We're gonna figure it out. Whatever happens, we always figure it out. If she is someday panicking, I'll be there to like hold her hand and calm her down. So it's like a give and
we
take
all have
thing.
our
And
days,
yeah.
good days, bad days. So I think that's the best part of.
So, are you guys the siblings who are very friendly with each other, or the ones who, because I have a sibling and we have a 13-year age gap.
know where this
that's
question is
crazy. And
And my God, even though she's younger to me, she is my grandmother. Okay? She rules everybody in the house.
I think the youngest ones are like
Yeah,
that.
so you are the youngest one, as you.
That's why she was so
You know
quiet.
my
Yes,
pain now.
yes. I'm the
Yeah.
oldest one and she's the youngest one, so we know.
so I, being the youngest one, I don't have to be fully responsible all the time.
All the time? Or most
You
of the
guys,
time?
even if they mess up, it's our problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No. Jokes aside, of course, you have to be responsible for your own self. But yeah,
So now let the oldest one speak. I agree with, I think it's true for everybody. It is like that. And working together, co-founders, siblings, has its own pros and cons, but the pros far supersede the cons. And like I said, trust is really important when you're working.
Yeah,
on
after
it.
all, you guys are
Yeah,
family. So, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So, of course, we have our own arguments. Some, if you want to try something new, we have different opinions.
Everybody
And
has
everything.
So who
different-
decides? Like, who's like sort of the creative director, and who decides, what styles are we gonna put and
I'm
things
the
like that?
creative director of the
Okay.
brand. So the creative vision of the brand is being led by me. But
Okay.
eventually, all the big decisions in the company are with the three of
So
us.
that's how we work, and I think that's the peaceful way of working together. Is you kind of distribute your
And also, we have immense trust in each other. So, if Bharat is coming with an opinion or if Rupanshi is coming with an opinion, you respect that, you listen to it, and you collectively decide to do something or not do something.
Even in our previous episode, we had another brand, and we were discussing the same things, that having like a cohesive relation with your co-founders is like super important, because otherwise it gets
Absolutely.
messed up.
It's absolutely crucial. Otherwise, whatever the discord is among the co-founders, it trickles down
Yeah.
to the team, and then things just don't work out. So, yeah.
Got it. So on Instagram, I was seeing this trend, and it has been there for like a long time. I think Masoom Meenawala did it for you guys also. So there's this thing that they do make reels on supporting Indian homegrown labels, and a lot of other influencers are doing it. So I want to understand, like, even though you guys are not that small now, but like, why do Indian brands really need this kind of support?
I mean, it's really important because the kind of resources it takes to reach at a point, they're like great efforts, great financial resources that you require, some connects, like you want your products to be seen on the influential influencers, the celebrities, and that's how you get your
So it's like a way of
word out.
marketing.
Yeah, exactly. And for that, you need a lot of, resources. And when great creators like Masoom come in and do these series, supporting homegrown series, I think I just hats off to her.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing this,
Yeah,
yeah.
so she did one for us also, and it's greatly influential in bringing the brand into limelight, because millions of people are following them, and then their reels, their content also get millions of reach. And the brand otherwise would have to spend maybe years and tons of money in
Also,
reaching that
how do you
place.
compete with the established brands that are really not innovating so much, because they have a formula down pat? The
Yeah.
homegrown brands are the ones that are experimenting, creating a new sort of a lifestyle, a new vision for how to dress or how to do your beauty or whatever it is. It's the homegrown brands that are experimenting because this is new, fresh, creative talent. So how do we provide that limelight to these brands who are doing great stuff, but they are limited by resources or
Even experience, the kind
Yeah.
of resources, experience, and connections, and everything. All of that matters in the industry.
so here
And
all of
yeah.
these videos
Gets covered and
yeah,
okay.
it plays a huge role in building that trust with the customers.
And I agree
in-
with you. There's so much talent in these, homegrown brands. Like they're doing everything, whether it's the product, Indian wear, Western wear, Pret, anything. They're like you see new designs, new kind of color palettes, prints, and everything. There's like I
Which
personally
other
also
brand
love buying.
apart from yours, like in the homegrown space, are you currently loving?
Why does nothing come to my mind right now?
It happens sometimes. It happens
love,
sometimes.
I'm actually loving Outhouse. They're doing great creative campaigns, great products. We are Junisa. It's
I know.
actually run by another, it's also female founded. So
Okay.
they're coming up. It's really, really small, but they have great pieces over there.
And I really like the jewelry pieces from this brand called Equivalence as well.
Equivalence. Yes, we
Yeah.
used some of their pieces in our last shoot, and
Okay, so you guys collaborate with all these jewelry brands and all for your shoots.
Yes,
absolutely. It's like a give and take again. Like, I'm sourcing jewelry from your brand, you're sourcing clothes from my brand. So, yeah.
A win-win.
Yeah, and then you kind of also give them some exposure because you tag them and then mention them. You give them great content also, which otherwise they wouldn't have access to. So it's like that. Like,
I've seen your photo shoot game is quite strong. Like,
So
yeah.
thank you. That feels
Yeah.
great to hear.
Yeah, so when did you start doing this? When did you realize ki okay, no, the photo shoots, because there are so many brands. Some of them sort of have like really good products, but the way it is portrayed on social media or their website, it doesn't look, it doesn't get enhanced. I think
It doesn't convey that sense of premiumness or
yeah.
the quality that it should convey, because it's a website. A person cannot feel or touch your product. They cannot wear it. It's only the visuals that they can see and that can convey whatever it needs to convey to them. So for an online brand, your shoots are your storefront. So if you're not investing in shoots, then despite it being an amazing product, the message is not gonna come across to
Reach.
the
But again,
client.
it takes a lot of resources to be able to achieve what you have in mind. However, having said that, I do think that, if you have that kind of creative vision in your head, you can make do with what you have. So maybe not like a large scale campaign, even if you do a small campaign, but you must think creatively and try to have this
A point of
strategy, I
view.
would
You
say.
need to have a point of view,
Yeah.
a perspective on things, and have a clear vision. And your campaign can be a small campaign, a big campaign. That totally depends on your budget, but you can still do justice to it if.
So putting the word out there is important.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
doing creative campaign shoots, I think it should be a part of brand strategy for every brand,
every brand.
which a lot of brands skip on because they think that it takes
It's
a
an
lot to
added
reach
cost.
there.
It's a big added
But
cost.
I would suggest you cut your costs on other things and do your campaign shoots.
Because
However,
also this is gonna this is the story that you're telling to people, and this is what they're gonna
Yeah, back to the
remember.
storytelling
yes,
aspect,
that is
yeah.
what they're gonna remember. How the visuals made them feel. Did it make them feel powerful or sexy or joyful? What is it that you want them to feel? So
Correct.
that comes through creative storytelling, through creative campaigns.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, when was the turning point of your brand? Like, when did you start realizing ki, okay, now people are noticing, now people are wearing our products, and, now we are becoming famous? Like,
To
when
this
did that
day,
happen?
I still can't digest it. Like every time somebody's like, I know your brand, or like I've bought stuff from you, I'm equally surprised as I would have been like a year ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's still like very new to us. But yeah.
And we still honestly don't believe that we are big because
Yeah.
we want to achieve so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
more. And the kind of vision that we have in our mind for Qua is way, 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 way
I think
ahead.
that also relates a lot to human nature. No matter how much you achieve, we're like, no, we want to do more. We want to do more.
Because there is
Yeah.
a scope of doing a
Of
lot
course.
more, the kind of brand that we are building of empowering women and what we are bringing to the table. There's so much more that can be done.
And when
So
we say that we are talking about ambition, power, success, who do you think we're channeling these feelings from?
Yeah. Absolutely. So, coming to you, like you said that you were in the IT tech space, okay? So, do you see any correlation between fashion and tech? And do you think like tech can help fashion in some way?
In a lot of ways, especially in, I think, in customizations, in custom made to measure garments, tech can really help in creating a body map of the person that could facilitate a very well tailored garment.
And I mean, firstly, a disclaimer: I am a computer science graduate, but I am not a
Okay.
techie.
No, on your website, I was
And while I was talking about it, I was just wondering why am I talking about
yeah, want to be an MBBS person. Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
tech is like it has just it's there in all aspects of our life, and fashion is no exception. We are seeing AI generating new designs, new campaigns, new imagery. Like AI is everywhere in
Are you
today's
guys
time.
using AI?
No, but I can
Not yet.
recognize
Okay.
an AI caption the moment I see it.
Ah.
Don't get your chat GPTs to write your
I mean,
copies.
using AI in the most efficient way is also a
I
skill
think it
set.
can be helpful as well.
Yeah,
Like, for a
use
lot
it
of people.
as a side aid, but don't make
Huh.
it your everything.
Yeah, don't make
Yeah.
it the main
Yeah,
Because the
person.
whole
that's
world
you.
is doing that.
That's you. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
your
so-
brain.
As you said, take support from AI generated stuff, but
Yeah.
then put your own POV into the final output, and that's how you differentiate yourself. As
Actually,
well.
there's a lot of, news, and a lot of people are worried that AI is going to replace their jobs. And even in the law space, like, now, like, this concept like paralegals basically. So I don't think like people are hiring them anymore. They're using like these AI softwares to, I mean, not all, but like I heard like for one or two firms that they have done something like this. So, I mean, what do you guys think about this? Like, do you think that, the jobs are going to be taken away by AI?
Not creative jobs, I would say. You would still need a human to operate the AI. And as I said, it can be an aid, but it cannot create anything original. It can just recycle from millions of whatever data points it has. So at the end of the day, creativity, I think, cannot be replaced by AI. Some of the other more technical jobs, I'm not aware about that. Maybe they can be replaced. Maybe people get more time to spend with their kids or their pets or to read a book or whatever, because all of these mundane tasks are
Or
being
take a vacation.
or take a vacation
Yeah.
because all of these mundane tasks are being done by AI.
Yeah.
So there's a positive side to it, in my
But it's so
opinion.
scary, right? Like, I mean, look at our population. It's so much. Already people don't have jobs. And then now something like AI has come. I mean, I think this is going to be a very interesting revolution
I feel
to watch.
humans as a species, they're very, very evolutionary, and I strongly believe that we will think of something else
Yeah, definitely,
to
definitely.
gain that edge over AI. So if we were doing a certain thing in a certain way and now AI is used to it, which by the way also needs a lot of commands and everything to run, I feel humans will find an edge of that differentiation.
This reminds me of this new movie of Kriti and Shahid. Have you guys
Yeah.
seen it?
Oh,
What is
right.
it
I saw
called?
the
I'm
trailer.
forgetting. What is it called? I'm forgetting the name.
I don't know, but
But I do
Something.
know that she's a robot.
Yeah, it's a robot called
Yeah.
Sifra,
Yeah.
who is Kriti.
Yeah.
And then, if you guys haven't watched, I have watched
No, I
it.
watched
Is
it.
it
You
fun?
watched
Yeah,
it.
but I don't remember the name.
It's
of
a
the movie.
one-time fun watch. Oh, it's मेरी बातों में उलझा दिया तेरी बातों में something. It's like that.
like
But yeah,
that.
but
Okay.
yeah, it's a one-time fun
Yeah,
watch. Like
yeah.
so I'll tell you the story. I went to the theater to watch this movie, and it was very late at night. And I was like, what is this movie? Like, the first like few minutes, I was like, what? Okay. And then I was like, chodo yaar, I'll just go home. Yeah, like, I can't, and it's anyway so late. And then when it came on Netflix, or yeah, I think it came on Netflix or Prime, and I watched the whole thing. And I was like, okay, not so bad. Like a no-brainer one-time watch.
Yeah, like, light comedy stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you want to see the darker version of that, watch Ex Machina.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite movies, and it's also about an
So are
AI.
you a dark person?
I think so, yes. I think so. Deep down, there are dark waters running.
And I think that really helps you channeling your creativity, no?
Yeah, I mean, you need to feel something intensely to actually put out great creative stuff. And I am a feeler. I go through all sorts of emotions, whether dark, whether happy, whatever it is.
What about you? You're not a dark person.
I'm not a dark person. I'm a
Bright, sunny person.
not that either. Not that either. But I'm like a happy
She's
go
balanced.
I'm
She's
a
a
balanced
balanced person.
practical, thoughtful, and all of that. But
I'm
yeah.
very thoughtful. Excuse me.
Different kinds of thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
My God, there'll be a sibling war.
Yeah, you will witness it firsthand.
Yeah, I'll be in the middle stopping it. Yeah.
Don't get in the middle of siblings.
Yeah, oh no. Yeah.
You would know
I
that.
would know.
You
I
would know that.
Yeah. Okay, so, coming to what is actually happening currently in the, fashion news space. So there's this thing called color theory, which has been really trending. Like, I see like creators making like these 3 colored outfits, pairing it with different I don't know like how exactly it works.
Yeah, they make a triangle in the color wheel,
Yeah, and
and those are the
yeah,
colors
yeah.
that you need to put in an outfit.
Yeah, so
and it's a
tell me a
3-color
little
rule.
bit about that. Like, enlighten me. What is this color theory and how
I
can...
don't know. I don't follow any rules when it comes to fashion.
Okay.
Even when we are creating collections, I am not a rule person at all. I believe in breaking them, not following them. So I don't go by these theories or any established rules per se. I do what intuitively feels right to me, what feels like it could be the ugliest color ever in my opinion, and 2 days later I will have an idea about how to make it the best into the best outfit ever. So these are the things that inspire me, and that is how I also create our collections.
I think that's what brings newness also, because of course you see, complement, these colors are meant to complement each other, or different
Yeah,
names and
Analogous,
complementary, and all
yeah.
of these,
The
right?
triad.
But it's all very theoretical. It works, but then how do you differentiate yourself? How do you bring newness? It's like when you try them on, experiment a lot.
Yeah, I'm more of
try
a
them.
hands-on person. Like I
Yeah.
would put on different things, the blues,
Yeah.
blacks, whites, add a blue in there or whatever, and see if it works. Or
So
you
you
need to
don't
change
really
something.
go by color theory or anything. Okay.
Sorry to disappoint.
No, I mean, I'm not disappointed.
So
Yeah.
you don't follow
I
any
think
color
more
theory.
like everybody should take risks with fashion. That is what makes it fun. That because it's supposed to be an uplifting thing. It's supposed to enhance your mood, your overall life. It's not supposed to be a burden, and you're not supposed to
Yeah.
go by a
and
rule
that's
book.
how you feel fun also, right?
Yeah.
While working, and not by following any formulas or rules or acha, this is how it's supposed to be done, let's do that only. And I think that's the biggest pro we as people who hold no fashion background have. Like we didn't study any theories, what you're supposed to do, what you're not
So
supposed
you
to
just
do.
did what you had to.
It comes from very like intuition, a practicality, our own experiences.
What you see around you.
Wide
Exactly.
exposure to the international fashion world, which is something that, as I told you, that I've been following since I was very young. So that exposure also impacts a lot, because even though you're not studying that, you're somewhere learning something about it.
And of course, like each to his own, but when you study a lot about, the rules and formulas and all, you're kind of limited
You limit
by your
yourself.
knowledge
Yeah.
that, "Acha, I've been taught this will not work, I cannot do this." But when you have no limitations in terms of the do's and the don'ts, then you're open to everything, to trying out new stuff, to experimenting, and that's how you create new stuff also.
And you know what? Like color was one of the biggest things that we wanted to incorporate into workwear
Yeah, it
right
was
at the
lacking
inception.
a lot. Yeah.
Right at the inception of the brand, because all the existing styles were like just blacks, navies, browns, beiges, and we were like, let's inject some joy to the clothes that we're gonna be wearing every day. So we made use of really
Bold
rich, bold
colors, saturated colors,
And
pastels
even in our
even.
last collection, you will see a lime green matching long waistcoat and pant set, which is again like such a bright color, but the style is so classic and so rooted in elegance and sophistication that it just makes the entire thing work.
And that's the entire philosophy. What you just said, that's the whole philosophy. Our brand is based on taking classic pieces, classic silhouettes, classic style, the classicness of the classicness, and combining it with some modern, understated details, whether it's in terms of the trims or colors or little details that you inject into your clothes, and combining them together. I think that's what Quad Design is.
So, there are these brands like Myntra and Lifestyle. So, they have started this concept. They are pushing this concept of work from home outfits. So, work from home came in when, of course, COVID started and everything. And now, I mean, still a lot of companies have like, maybe a hybrid situation or a work from home situation. So, what is your thought on this? Like, do you think such a concept will actually take off and people are going to love it or not?
Not anymore. Because it was something that was talked about a lot during the pandemic and even for a duration post-pandemic, but we all got sick of it. That's
It
where
was new back then, so we were all excited by it. We wanted to do like waist up dressing, how you're gonna look, how this part is
above
gonna
the
look,
keyboard dressing, and all
what
these
are the
trends
details in your
emerged.
collar or your sleeves. It was all very new back then, which is why it was exciting. But as things are getting back to normal, I don't think it's an exciting concept anymore, because if I'm working from home, I'd rather be in pajamas and a t-shirt or like very comfortable clothes that I'm not specifically gonna shop for working from home.
Yeah.
I would
I'll
shop for going out of home, like whether that's work or drinks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so, this is a personal question. Are either one of you married?
No.
No? Okay. You are
I
married.
am.
Okay, fine. So there's this thing which is like, we all have heard of wedding rings and like marriage rings. And now there's this concept of a divorce ring. Okay. So
right.
it's basically, I think, embracing your individuality or something in a different way. But like, do you think people should opt for such things? And do you think in India people will opt for such things?
I say more power to women.
Yeah.
They go through so much. I am not a married person, but I have been in a couple of relationships, so I know it would be like a more intense version of that.
I mean, it's throughout your life you go through stuff, but I am absolutely on for that concept and this new way of lifestyle that's emerging. I think one of the Emily Ratajkowski, she spoke about it, and
which was really fun how she got that ring that was gifted to her by her husband, which had 2 stones in it, and she got it split into 2 separate rings.
Yeah.
Which was a very cool thing to do, because she's not only saying that, I can still wear the ring and not think about you, but she's actually made it into something she likes even better.
Yeah, put her own spin onto something that was given to her. What represented her marriage, I think, has now become a symbol of her own personality and
what she's been through, and then how she has arrived
and what
at this
she wants
stage.
to be now and how she sees herself now. So, great concept. I do believe India will take some time.
Take time,
A lot of time,
but
it will get there
It will
eventually.
trickle down.
I think once celebrities start doing that, they'll all follow.
But divorce itself is such a taboo topic.
No, but actually, this is weird, but like a lot of people I'm seeing that they're getting married at an early age today, And then after a few months, you're hearing that even a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old relationship is breaking off in like 4 months after marriage, 5 months after marriage. And like, I'm like shocked. I'm like, what is happening? You guys have been in a 10-year relationship. How is that happening?
Are you in a relationship?
I am.
How long has it been?
So
It's gonna
I
be 3 years.
I believe what is happening now is that I'll speak for women because that's the experience I hold. Is now we know what we want and we don't want to settle for anything less. How we have been conditioned by society and from a very young age is that you are supposed to make compromises. You're supposed to. You are the woman. You are supposed to be in a certain manner, you are supposed to behave in a certain manner, or not talk about some things, right? And just take everything in and just compromise, compromise, compromise. And I think that thing is changing now. Women are realizing that it's not on them, it's not their prerogative to be the only one making compromises and just putting their all in to make a relationship work. It's like an equal thing, like put 50-50, do 50-50 in everything. And so I think
I have
maybe
a
the
slightly
society is not.
different notion of this. So I feel like I had heard this on a reel, some relationship reel. Like you said, I'm in a relationship. Sometimes we fight and then I watch these
Sometimes you
reels,
get
okay?
this stuff on your explore feed.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'm
I was-
intrigued.
So I was watching this thing which actually resonated with me in the sense that I don't think you can always give 50-50 because like on some days, I'm just feeling like my 20. I'm feeling
Yeah,
like my
yeah,
30.
yeah.
I don't think I can really push it that much. I want the other person to sort of lift me at that point. So I think like having like a great understanding over there that, when I'm down, you lift me. When you're down, I lift you. I think that sounds a lot better to me. Like,
Right.
Exactly.
In an-
That's how it works with us also as co-founders. But coming back to your point, you need to have that mentality that, okay, I also have to put in the effort. And that's how
Yeah.
you help each other on your good days and bad
I think
days.
both have to put in that effort.
Exactly.
Like some, I am a female and I don't have anything against, of course, female or male. But like, I feel like some female have taken this notion very wrong and they're like, no, you know what, my way or highway. I think that's not what empowering a relationship is. I think it's
I
putting
think
equal efforts.
communication is the
Yeah.
foundation stone for any great relationship between any two people. It can be a marriage, it can be a friendship, it can be a sisterhood or a brotherhood, whatever
Or
it
a
is.
partnership.
Or a
Yeah.
partnership.
Yeah.
But understanding, communication, trust, these are the key pillars. And if that is not there, then everything sort of falls apart. So now, how much is the guy or the girl willing to understand the other person? What
That's a
what
challenge.
notions what notions do they hold at their core that you can't really change at this stage? So yeah, all of these things also come into play. Of course, not every man is the same, and not every woman is the same. So
And like you said, some women do this, but then, I mean, not everybody is the same,
but
right?
but
We have
throughout
exceptions
history, like
here.
women
Yeah.
have been
Suppressed.
subjugated so much that it's fine if they're also pushing back a little bit harder than they need to, because it's fine, we deserve it. We deserve a break. Yeah.
Okay, lovely. So we went from fashion to relationships and whatnot. And now I'll just, you were excited for this game, so let's play it. Okay, so the game is called Fashion This or That, like you already know. So I'll just ask you a few questions and I think you both can answer.
Sure.
Like, even if you have different answers, it's fine. Okay.
Cool.
So,
Fire.
yeah. What's your cult favorite brand? Charlotte Tilbury, Clinique, Benefit, or MAC?
Charlotte.
I'll
Tilbury.
say Charlotte Tilbury just because I'm in love with this serum that she has, the magic crystal elixir thing.
So
which
both
I
the
love.
siblings are on the same page.
I'm actually wearing
I
their
discovered
lipstick.
it. I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
do all the great discoveries, and then she just
Steals it.
yes.
I mean, you love doing it, so I don't want to bother you with anything.
So yes.
Okay. So, given a chance, which of these women would you want to dress? Vinita Singh or Namita Thapar?
Namita Thapar.
Namita Thap, Vinita Singh.
Okay, thank you.
What made you change your answer?
anyway,
Because
your
I wanted
brand
to
is
cover
dressing both. Okay. Nice strategy. Okay, so if you had to buy like a really great bag for yourself, which brand would you choose? Fendi, Marc Jacobs, or Celine?
I think Phoebe Philo.
Celine.
So Phoebe Philo was the creative director of Celine during its highest point.
And you also the same thing?
Celine.
Okay,
I
okay.
opt for
And
Celine.
she has started her own brand. Like, she is a maverick in the fashion space. She revived the entire Celine brand. And then she was like, at the height of her career, she just decided, I'm going to, raise my kids. I'm going to have my family. She just dropped out of the scene, had her life, did whatever she wanted to do. And then she came back as her own eponymous label called Phoebe Philo. And it's doing phenomenal.
Nice, nice. Okay, so, as a workwear outfit, which one do you guys prefer? Wearing a jumpsuit or a dress?
Dress.
Dress.
And why?
For me, I think it's just
Comfort. I just
I've-
prefer.
I've worn more dresses than jumpsuits in my life. I think that's why it's just I feels a more comfortable idea.
But I
to me.
love to be in trousers the most. Like
I
wide
know,
leg
yeah.
trousers, like take up space, all of
Yeah.
that. It just
That we
feels
all
great.
love, but-
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so if you had
Dresses with trousers.
okay,
That's something that is also trending these days.
dresses with trousers. Okay, so if you had access to one person's social media for a day, who would it be and why? It can be anyone on this planet.
Kanye West.
Why?
Because he's controversial. Why wouldn't you want to get into his social
Dark
media?
person,
See
dark person.
Even for me, I think it's Elon Musk.
his Twitter.
Twitter, and he's like,
Interesting.
get into his mind. What is this guy thinking when he's doing this stuff? Like, I would love to shadow him for a day.
Lovely. Great. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of this episode. And how was your experience? Did you enjoy talking about it? Were
It
you
was
like,
so lovely. It was exciting.
So
we had great
comfortable.
fun.
Yeah.
It's just like chatting with friends.
yeah, it is. I mean, it's a fun podcast.
Yeah,
so
it's very fun.
Enjoy
Fun and
it.
Kudos on this.
fashionable. Fun and
Kudos.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great
Fun and
podcast.
fashionable.
Fun and fashionable. Please
fashionable.
like them, subscribe them, and really excited to see your next episodes as well.
Okay, thank you guys so much. If you have any suggestions for us, please write to us on pods@indiatoday.com, or you can text us on 8588966996. Thank you so much. Looking forward to meeting you next time. Bye.